Welcome back, everybody. A Pink Lemon here, wondering what if Hades Kerbex got an evolution in the third season of Beyblade Metal Fury. Hades Kerbex is a right-spinning stamina type owned by Damien Hart, featuring as the main villain of the second season of the Metal Saga, Metal Masters, and features as a part of the Maximum series, a line of bays with the maximum in certain aspects, such as Flame Bixis releasing with the tallest spin track, and Hades Kerbex releasing, most notably, with the widest wheel of the series up to that point. And by far, one of its most defining features is its Boost Disc 145 spin track, which thanks to the raised nature of its fusion wheel allows it to have the spin track facing up, blocking the gaps in its wheel and making the outside of the bay almost completely circular, adding a substantial amount of weight to the bay, which along with its spike defense tip, which I don't actually own, makes it a formidable opponent to try and KO. And today, we're going to try and evolve it for the third season of the Metal Saga because a lot of people wish they could have seen more of this bay. So, perhaps in an attempt to get revenge on Kyoya for his defeat in the finale, Damien works with Rago to gain a fraction of Nemesis's power, granting Kerbex a new, more powerful form. So without further ado, let's evolve this bay and put it through 4 Beyblade battles to see if it can really be the ultimate stamina type. As I previously stated, Boost Disc 145 is one of the most defining characteristics of Kerbex. This is why I'm giving our Kerbex evolution Spike 230, a spin track extremely reminiscent of BD 145 with spikes included, that takes its defensive potential and weight to a whole nother level. And thanks to the raised nature of the Hades fusion wheel, it works perfectly at 230 track height. Finally, you'd think that to evolve Spike Defense, the obvious answer would be something like Spike Wide Defense or Eternal Defense Spike. However, in testing, I found that both weren't quite aggressive enough for Kerbex, nor did they work well at 230 height. That's why I've chosen to give it W2D, a very similar defense tip to Spike Defense with a small spike and rim, with excellent LAD and counterattacking potential when combined with its height. Overall, I think this new combo is a perfect look for an evolved Kerbex, as along with its substantially increased defense and stamina, it gives the entire design a towering presence very befitting of this bay. Now with that out of the way, let's meet our first opponent. For our first opponent, we'll be battling Flame Bixis to see if Kerbex can triumph over the original user of the 230 WD combo and a fellow member of the Maximum series to see who's the superior stamina type. Despite landing some good hits, Kerbex loses its balance and Bixis wins with a sleep out. The score is now 0-1. After locking horns with Bixis, Kerbex delivers a knockout and the score is now 1-all. After knocking Bixis off balance, Kerbex barely wins with a sleep out and the score is now 2-1. And in a complete reversal of the last match, Flame Bixis, despite being off balance, wins with a sleep out. The score is now 2-all. And after both bays are sent tumbling around the arena, Kerbix's spin track ends up being its downfall and Bixis takes the victory. That was a surprisingly close battle, and honestly I think that in a rematch this could go either way, as Kerbix's fusion wheel in tandem with the slip and slidey nature of W2D allowed it to land powerful enough attacks to destabilize and even knock out Bixis. Unfortunately, it seemed like in the end, when it came to stamina, Bixis was just more consistent and granted it the victory. For our second opponent, we'll be battling Lightning Eldrago to see how well our towering new evolution could withstand being attacked from below and destabilized by constant high recoil attacks. And thanks to Spike 230's surprising amount of recoil, Eldrago loses with a sleep out. The score is now 1-0. And despite being heavily destabilized, Kerbix's extra height gives it just enough spin to win with a sleep out. The score is now 2-0. Out of nowhere, Eldrago lands a well-placed strike and wins with a knockout. The score is now 2-1. And to avoid a repeat of the last round, Kerbix lands a knockout and wins the battle. Surprisingly, I thought Eldrago had a better chance at winning this battle, as unlike most 230 spin tracks, Spike 230's disc hangs low enough to be exploited by lower height attackers. But in an extremely unlikely turn of events, the small spikes on the bottom of S230's disc actually came in clutch, warding off attacks from Eldrago, making it almost impossible for it to get consistent attacks and heavily draining its stamina, delivering Kerbix the victory. For our third battle, our evolution is going up against Flash Sagittario to see how well it fares in a 4D matchup and to test its defensive capability against another 230 WD user with far higher recoil. Flash Sagittario will be starting in stamina mode. And with both bays sent off balance, Kerbix emerges victorious. The score is now 1-0. And despite being in stamina mode, Sagittario sends Kerbix sliding out of the arena. The score is now 1-1. And after continually butting heads with Sagittario, Kerbix wins with a sleep out. The score is now 2-1. Flash Sagittario will be switching into attack mode. Sagittario immediately uses its extra high recoil to win with a knockout. The score is now 2-all. And despite having less stamina, Curbix exploits Sagittario's higher recoil and wins the battle. Damn, much like the battle against Flame Bixis, this battle really could have gone either way, with Saggittario and Curbix seemingly being evenly matched. Although I think if these bases were to rematch, if Saggittario stayed in attack mode, it would have had a much higher chance at winning. For our final battle, we'll be going up against our Medio Eldrago Assault upgrade to see how well our Curbix evolution can withstand a head-on clash with a relentless 145 height attacker. And despite an explosive start to the battle, Meteor Assault is unable to outspin Curbix and loses with a sleep out. The score is now 1-0. And despite getting Curbix very low on stamina, Meteor Assault still loses to a sleep out. The score is now 2-0. And finally, after a quick barrage, Meteor Assault lands a knockout. The score is now 2-1. And despite Meteor Assault landing some crucial attacks, the round ends in a double knockout. The score is still 2-1. And with that knockout, Curbix completely shuts down Meteor Assault and wins the battle. Well, thanks to the weight difference, Spike 230, and W2D's LAD, I knew there was very little chance Meteor Assault was winning this matchup. However, I was pleasantly surprised to see it almost land 2 knockouts. That being said, Curbix's impressive display of stamina and counterattacking potential ultimately won it the battle. Well, this was an impressive display of our Curbix evolution's power, as it most definitely proved its potential as an upgraded stamina type, going head-to-head in neck-and-neck battles against both Flame Bixis and Flash Saggittario, managing to not only hold its own in stamina, but manage decently consistent knockouts against opponents of all track heights. Not to mention how royally screwed any regular height bay is regardless of if they try to knock out or outspin this evolution. So in my opinion, I think this might be a perfect combo in terms of stats, abilities, and appearances. All it's missing now is a 4D fusion wheel. Or is it? Let me know what you thought of this Curbix evolution in the comments below and what ability you would have given Curbix if it got a 4D fusion wheel. Before I go, I want to thank everyone who subscribed and left comments on our 500 subscribers special video. Over 200 people subscribed thanks to just that video, and because of that, we are already so close to our next milestone of 1,000 subscribers. So please subscribe if you enjoyed this content. It really means a lot, especially if you'd like to see my coverage of the upcoming Beyblade X series. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I can finally start monetizing my content, which means more motivation to make videos, which means more videos for you, my lovely viewers. So with that out of the way, I've been a Pink Lemon, and I hope you have a great day.